Welcome back, Geeks. This is James with another episode of the Geeks and the Atomic Goat. We are doing a Meet the Cast episode with Mark. We wanted to introduce Mark, our guest cast member that's going to be joining us every once in a while to join in on our episodes. And today he's going to go ahead and give us a little information about him. We want to let you know what kind of makes Mark tick. We've been friends with him for years. Play a lot of Xbox with them. And Mark, let me ask you a few questions about yourself. Let the viewers know about you. What are you into as far as geekdom? Anything you want to talk about, whether it be movies, video games, whatever. Tell us about you.
Hello there. That should say enough right there.
Sultry
Voice. Mark. Everybody's going to fall in love with Mark's voice.
I know, I dream about it.
Yeah, you guys, shit. I mean, I guess I might say typical run-of-the-mill geek stuff in there. Love Star Wars, love Star Trek. If I had to choose, it'd be Star Trek, hands down. Love anything that flies. Big into my flight sims. I lean heavy towards the sci-fi. Love the fantasy stuff. Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, Conan, especially with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Games-wise, I play it all. Love my first-person shooters. Love my RPGs. Hard to get into some of the more drawn-out ones now, but I love the good narratives. Skyrim, Ghost of Tsushima, Halo, obviously, Gears of War. A lot of the classics.
Let me stop you there. You're talking about the first-person shooters. That's one thing I do miss about the first-person shooters is the storyline. You mentioned the storyline there. And a lot of them are nowadays just like, well, there's a little bit of a storyline, and then it's just like you're killing other players. That's all it is. So I do miss sometimes that the online – I do like the online experience, but I do miss the single-player experience where you're, actually have a storyline to go in, a campaign. I do miss that in new modern games nowadays.
I remember, when the first Call of Duty came out, and it was like, I beat the campaign in 4.5 hours. I was less than enthusiastic. I was like, really? I don't even get a full day of gaming out of this. So, it was at some point they decided to go heavily multiplayer, and I think they lost something, like you were saying.
Yeah, I think you're lucky to get more than 6 to 8 hours on a shooter campaign anymore these days. It depends on the replayability, I guess. RoboCop was a good one I played recently. It felt like an older game, but you also felt like you were in the RoboCop movie. So, and that was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Freeze Creep, all the cheesy.
What is that, the RoboCop, what is it called, Rogue City, I think, or something
Rogue
like that?
City, yeah.
Yeah. Looks like a good one. I haven't played it myself, but yeah, I've been looking at it on the Xbox store every once in a while. I'll pop in there and be like, looks nice. So I also like looking at that Terminator Resistance one that they have, because I love Terminator. So I would love to see, maybe because they are owned by the same company, same film company. Why not do a cross shooter, platform shooter on that, RoboCop versus Terminator. They did it in the 80s with RoboCop versus Terminator, Super Nintendo games and arcade games, and RoboCop versus Terminator comic books.
That's an interesting mashup. Like, who would win? RoboCop, I imagine, right? I mean, because he's full titanium? I don't know.
Yeah.
Wow. He's also got biological parts.
But he's also slow as hell. I remember in the 80s, RoboCop's like running after cars, or the Terminator's running after cars, and RoboCop's
that's 90s. But if we do 80s RoboCop, he was doing the same shit. He's walking through.
Yeah, walking on fire. I will say in the second RoboCop, though, I mean, they do catch him and they cut him up with a blowtorch.
Yeah.
True.
It'd be
Try
kind
that
of
with
hard.
the Terminator.
Yeah, it'd be kind of hard to do that. But that would be an interesting matchup. They just need to put it in Mortal Kombat if they haven't already.
Yeah, well, I mean, or if you're talking about like the RoboCop that they had in that new 2000, what was it? I think it was like 2009 or something movie.
2014, I think.
2014.
I just watched that not too long ago.
Yeah,
hey,
that
too.
RoboCop versus Terminator, that would be a better matchup than the 1980s RoboCop.
It would
Can I
be
say-
because the movement, like how he moves and stuff. But
yeah, but you would want to see the classic though.
He's real smooth, and I love those Ed 209s, man. No, those Ed 209s wouldn't trip downstairs. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I'd love to play as one of those. That'd be fun.
And seeing what they did to the RoboCop in that movie, where he was just a head and a hand and a couple lungs, and he was like, "What did you do?"
Put it back. It's all gone.
Yeah, I'd have probably said the same thing. Like, I want to die. Like, just kill me.
Wait a minute! I don't see a penis. I don't see a penis. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah. See, I almost said it was worth it. I'd be like, I'd be all right with that. But then you said no penis. I'm like, yeah, just pull the plug.
I know.
My favorite pastime? No. Damn it. I mean, you still had one hand. But what I thought was funny is when they took it apart, they didn't have like any wires or any blood or anything attached to that one hand. It was just free floating by itself. So I was like, how does that work?
Well, they had like they looked like it was like surgical tubing that was going through the arm to it. So it looked like it was like, that's how it was circulating, was through that one surgical tube. Like, here's some blood. Have some blood.
I'm sitting there like looking at just, if it's just the lungs and they got the blood and whatnot, like, I guess that's where you think too heavily into stuff, but like, without kidneys, how's the blood getting clean? You know, all that stuff.
Remember, they ran it out. They took the old blood out. They added the vitamins and minerals and everything, cleaned the blood, and recirculated it back in. It was just daily maintenance.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I only remember that because, like you, I watched it like less than 2 weeks ago.
All right. Well, I didn't mean to make this into a RoboCop review. Let's get back to Mark.
That was my bad.
No. I started it talking about the RoboCop versus Terminator.
But isn't this the essence of this podcast?
Yeah. So this is what we want to kind of do, is just kind of deep dive into some of these shows and movies. And I mean, we'll have to do this like a more official capacity, doing a RoboCop podcast. So that will definitely be something we'll need to knock out in the future. So again, sorry, Mark, I kind of interrupted you when you were talking about the video games. Was there anything else you wanted to add about, your interests, or anything else that you wanted to discuss with us?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty broad, but, I'm just kind of like anybody else. Random stuff catches my interest, I lean heavy towards the sci-fi, and might be some stuff that's popular that I haven't got into.
We'll get you into it. Maybe some of the hentai.
Well, yeah, one of the animes.
I can't believe how many of those types of games are on Steam. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. The ads are everywhere for them too. It's like
Sex
the
sells.
The horny dog meme exists for a reason. Bonk. So, but yeah, that's all I got really.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This has been Meet Mark. Mark, thank you very much for joining us today and giving us the rundown of who you are and what you're interested in. So we discussed in the first episode, the trailer, that we would start the Fallout series, but we're actually going to jump into the Halo series first. Season 1, Episode 1 will be the first episode to drop. So please join us with that. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show and come back for much more. Thank you, guys.
Toodles.
Have a good one.